Hi all. I finally decided to make another video. This time it will be a summary of previous videos, basically top something of my favorite tools. The next episode will be about tools that I didn't like that much and why. I'll start with a small provocation. So I will tease you a little bit, you fans of Star Wars. Yesterday I watched with my children the 8th episode of Star Wars saga, The Last Jedi. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of Star Wars, I'm the Star Trek person. And I would like to ask you how was your what were your impressions about the new chapter of Star Wars? I didn't like it that much. I loved the special effects. The story is not my type of story. It's a little bit too soap opera in my opinion. I keep thinking, who's the next villain of the Star Wars people? We had the son of one Jedi, Anakin Skywalker. Now we have another one, Ben Solo. So who's the third one? Maybe the son of Chewbacca. Please comment, even if the comments won't be very positive. Let me move on. I couldn't make up my mind how many tools should I put in my top something. So I've put the ones that I definitely think that they are almost perfect or perfect in my opinion. So let's walk away and move on to the actual tools. I'll start with screwdrivers, and my favorite screwdrivers are the Vera Green Line. They are the ones that have laser etched. Sorry for the light conditions, but I couldn't make it better. So the Green Line, they're laser etched. They have laser etched tip. They're perfect, even for damaged screws. The other one that I showed you before is the one made in Japan. It's Vessel. It's really good. Whenever I really struggle with undoing a screw, and Vera ones can't handle it, I try this one. It has slightly different construction of the tip. It also has serrated tip, which works kind of like laser etched, but it's slightly different. And for this screws that Vera can handle, this one will definitely handle. So these are my screwdrivers. As I said, they are very robust. They are very comfortable thanks to the shape of the handle and the materials they're made of. I haven't found so far any weaknesses. Some people complain about the rubber that it keeps coming off. I haven't noticed it so far. The next one is this silicone dispenser, or glue gun if you wish. It is the Power Pro. I have two of them. That's how much I like them. What I like about them, they're very robust. The cheaper ones you can bend in your hands. So it's very easy to damage them. This one is made of very robust aluminum coated with thick layer of paint that is very easy to clean. Next thing is very comfortable handle. Very well working mechanism that is easy to adjust. You just press the trigger and you can move it out or push it in very easily. The only weakness of this dispenser or glue gun is this pin that's supposed to be used to push out the solid part of the glue or silicone. It's a little bit too soft, sometimes it even bends. But apart from that, it's really good. I like it a lot. Next one will be Irwin Quick Grip. What I like about it is again the same thing as about the glue gun. It's about the way it works, and the construction is very robust. It holds extremely strong and works very smoothly. Now these parts are made of plastic, but it seems to be ABS or something like that, so very robust. This bit here is made of steel. The trigger is made of steel. Okay, one more thing that I would probably hate to live without, and this is the light torch that I showed you a few times before. Now, shortly, what I like about it is the strength of the light, which is really good. It's really strong, and I like the fact that it is not really very focused. So whenever I have to go out in darkness, it works extremely well. It also has this narrow focused beam, but I don't use it as often. This one is definitely much more commonly used. What else I like about it? It's extremely comfortable. I can hold it in my hand for a long time because it's light. Same time, it is robust. So I dropped it a few times. It's rubberized and it's still alive. I like the fact that it has this hook so I can hang it. It has two very strong magnets on the back and on the base. It can be turned 360 degrees, as well as it can be tilted to a few different positions, still being held by this strong magnet. But what's more, it can be charged using a wall socket, and that's a better option for me because I don't like using too many batteries. Now, it can be disadvantage for some. I like that feature. It tells me when it's being charged, indicates when it's charged with this diode or LED here, and it holds for a good few hours before it dies on me. The only disadvantage I've noticed is that it doesn't give any warning that it is almost there. So I would like probably this LED to lead, let's say, half an hour before the lamp dies, just to give me a heads up so I can charge it again. Apart from that, it's perfect. Now, it's made by Ring, but I believe this is just a label brand, and you can find exactly the same for more or less the same price, made by or branded by other companies. Then I have two hammers. This one is Draper. It's a tack hammer. It's very specific design. It's very thin and long. It's perfect for precise hammering, and I use it for a lot of materials, not only nails but also some plastic bits like wall plugs. It's really good. Now, this one is a generic rubber mallet. I think, as far as I remember, it's made by Draper again. Now, in this case, it's not really about which brand it is, but it's about the fact that everyone should have one. Now, I used it for laying the laminated flooring, but also for many other jobs, many other tasks. It's really handy when you have to hit something and you're worried that you can damage it. Everyone should have one, not necessarily the black one. I think the disadvantage of this one is the color of the rubber, which sometimes leaves marks. I would advise you to use the ones that are made of white rubber maybe, or something that definitely doesn't leave stains. Now, I said a lot about Fiskars scissors already. These are one of 3 that I own, and they are excellent. I use them for last 3 years, I think, or maybe more. They're still extremely sharp. They're very comfortable thanks to this plastic handle. The plastics, or in general material, are very comfortable and very robust. You can see there is a lot of attention to details. It's finished very well, unlike Fiskars tools made outside of Finland. These ones are made in Finland. When you buy Fiskars that is made in Finland, it almost guarantees very high quality of the tool. Everyone should own at least these big ones. Now, as you know, I moved recently from UK to continental Europe, and I had to change a lot of plugs on many of my electric equipment. So I had a lot of electrician's work to do. This tool made it so much easier. Now, this one is made by Vice Grip, which, as far as I know, is owned by Irwin now. It makes removing insulation very quick, very easy on a whole range of wire gauges. I mainly use it for removing insulation. You can also use it for cutting thin wires and crimping. But I think everyone, even a DIYer like myself, should have something like that. The only disadvantage of this tool is when you have to catch a short piece of wire from the front. There is a risk that you won't be able to push it through all the way through, and then you will struggle with removing the insulation. For that reason, some companies make wire strippers that catch like a gun, so from the front. But this one works in 99% of the cases. Then 3 types of pliers. In general, if you go for Knipex pliers, you will not be disappointed. I've got much more than these 3, but these 3 I use very frequently, so I can definitely say they're worth much more than I paid for them. This one is the one that I used most commonly. It's a version of Cobra pliers with extended jaws. Personally, I think they are better than the original ones. If you think differently, please put it in a comment section. We can discuss it. But I own both, and this one worked for me much better, especially when you have to catch something in very thin opening. Apart from that, it works exactly the same as regular Cobra pliers, and it is the 25 centimeters long type. The part number, let me just try zoom on it, it's 8751-50. Okay, they are comfortable enough. I don't mind this type of handle cover. Some people complain about it. I really don't mind. It's the surface is a little bit rough, so you can hold to it even if your hands are sweaty or oily. These ones I used a lot on cutting wires in my new house. It cuts through extreme range of wire gauges without any damage. I used it without switching off fuses, and even though I did it, there is no sign of damage on the jaws, so they work perfectly. They cut very easily, and they don't damage the cable as well. They don't squash the cable, they just cut it through. And finally, probably my second favorite, Knipex pliers. The great thing about it is the range of sizes that you can use it on. They're pipe pliers, I guess, but it's not about that really. What it is about is the smooth jaws that allow you to play with your taps or mixers without leaving any marks, if you worry about that. Plus, the strength of the grip is extreme thanks to this leverage here. And so far I haven't found any object that these pliers were not able to undo, unless I couldn't fit them in because of this very wide parrot shape or peak shape jaws. I think everyone should have a pair of this and this. If you sometimes have to do some electrical work, these ones are useful, but you can live without them. And finally, drill and drill bits. So as you notice, I'm a big fan of Makita. I'm not sure if they're the best on the market. You will find better Milwaukee, DeWalt, or obviously Hilti and other brands, but they are reliable, and that's across the line of their tools, and that's important. So I don't have to worry that, okay, I will buy Makita drill, but I have to buy a DeWalt impact driver, and in that case I would have to have 2 packs of different battery packs, which I don't want to have. I have already a few Makita tools. I'm planning to get another one, and I have whole range of batteries that will fit them all. I used it a lot. I drilled in concrete, in wood, in plaster, and it never let me down despite the fact that it is battery operated. It's a hammer type. This one is DHP 458. The only disadvantage I've noticed it's quite heavy, and it doesn't have brushless motor. So the newer types would most likely be much lighter than that. Apart from that, it's perfect. Now, what I use with it, most of the time it is Bosch robust line drills. These ones are for concrete mainly, and I use them on hundreds of holes, and they are still sharp. They still go extremely well. Now, it's called robust line. I'm not sure if it's also about the construction of the drills. It's definitely about construction of the box, which is rubberized. I think it's not that important. What's more important is the drill, and so far I'm extremely happy with. So the next drill bits that I own that are also made by Bosch are these ones that are used for different types of screws, and I like them for many reasons. First of all, because they are so robust. Second of all, because they have so many types of tips that can deal with so many types of screws. So you have all these types of bits. They are the Torx bits, flathead, Phillips, Posey, and even the tamper-proof Torx bits, as well as hex bits. They're not all possible sizes, but they're the most commonly used, and so far I haven't met the situation when I needed something else at my home. They've got some extra bits that can be used for extensions, but that's another story. I use them a lot. I haven't damaged any of them so far. I use them with my drill. I use them with my screwdrivers, and they are still here. This is my top something, probably like 20 tools, the most commonly used at my house, with my car. Tell me what you think about it. Do you own any of them? What maybe you've got different feelings about them, and please do tell me what you think about the new Star Wars movie. I would like to wish you all the best in year 2018. I hope that it will be much better than 2017, if it's possible, of course, for you. And have a great day.